Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your September 2020 general reading. We are looking at the first 2 weeks of September from the 1st through the 15th. Welcome everyone. I hope you're all doing well, safe and healthy. Always my appreciation for everything you do in support of this channel. Likes, sharing, subscribing, comments, feedback, donations. It is all welcome and appreciated. Thank you so much. So this reading is for the first half of September for the water sign of Cancer. That's Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, Cancer Rising. If your Venus is in Cancer, if you're cross-watching for a Cancerian, it's all relevant, but of course being a general reading, it's going to resonate a little differently for everyone in details and intensity. So watch all of your signs if you know them, because it can put together a more comprehensive picture of what's going on in your life right now and kind of help guide you forward. So watch them all if you can. If any of the videos do resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, you can click on the description link below. Click on that little arrow that pulls down information. You'll see my contact details there. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to hear from you. I can usually respond with information within the same day or the first 24 hours. And scheduling is done in a pretty timely fashion too. Readings are all that I do full time. So I'm pretty diligent at working with your schedule in mind to get those readings set up as quickly as we can. So email me if you're interested. I would be most happy to work with you. All right, Cancer, let's move right into this reading and see what the first half of September has in store for you. Today I am using Legacy of the Divine Tarot. And if I feel the need to clarify, I will be using the Gilded Tarot Royale. Cancer, what's up for you the first half of September? We have Temperance, followed by the Seven of Coins, also known as Pentacles, Coins, Pentacles. We have the Ten of Wands, followed by the Wheel of Fortune. And from the bottom of the deck, overall energy is you, Queen of Cups. Cancer, it looks like something is going on which is bringing about or pointing towards an ending of something that you've been dealing with for quite some time, and the cycle coming to an end, or the opportunity to bring what's turned into a pretty burdensome cycle to an end, is being brought about by divine timing and orchestration. We do have this Ten of Wands here, followed by the Wheel of Fortune. So in the tarot, as most of you know, tens do represent a cycle coming to a close. Sometimes it represents something coming to a close, and once it's over and done with, for example, laying down this heavy burden, you walk away from it and it's done, you're completely separated from it. Sometimes it represents a cycle coming to a close in terms of there has been a full achievement of everything you wanted to do, and you can rest in that achievement, or it transitions into something else. But there is a heavy burden to be laid down here. I don't know why I keep feeling like it's an opportunity rather than, an actual ending that's happening independent of you. But I feel like you also have a choice as to whether or not to lay all these burdens, whatever this is, down. And we'll pull some clarifiers too. So accompanying that is the Wheel of Fortune. So there's definitely divine timing and orchestration in this cycle coming to a close. It feels like it's something you've been dealing with for quite some time, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a work situation. And in this, there's the energy from you, Cancer, Temperance, and the Seven of Coins. Temperance is a card about balance, finding your balance, maintaining your balance, particularly in an emotional way. It represents not being reactive to or too reactive to the things that are beyond your control, and staying kind of grounded and in the middle of whatever you know your truth in this situation is. My example for a temperance is being in the middle of a seesaw or teeter-totter, and the middle is where you're at. The outside arms, if you're standing on the outside arms and they're going up and down, you're most likely going to lose your balance because there's no center there. Those outside arms represent things you have no control over, other people's actions, other people's opinions, situations that happen. But when you stay in the middle, even though when those things vary wildly because you can't control them, if you're in the middle, you typically, although you might wobble, you typically retain your balance. So temperance is about holding opposite extremes in unison and harmony, even if it's something, because I feel like there's a lot of emotions going on here, but you're holding them, you're trying not to be reactive to it. You're playing your cards close to your chest, you're not wearing your heart on your sleeve, you're maintaining balance, and I feel a certain sense of stubbornness for you in staying in some kind of position. The Seven of Coins is kind of taking stock, taking inventory of what you have invested in something, and has it paid off? What are you getting out of this? And the Queen of Cups is the energy overall, which is your energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. The Queen of Cups is the Queen of Water, the Queen of Emotion. As a page in a knight, she was probably quite emotionally sensitive and all over the place. As a knight, she was probably emotionally spontaneous and impulsive, but she's grown and matured and evolved into a queen. So she doesn't wear her heart on her sleeve anymore. She doesn't just, she's a very emotionally aware and sensitive and intuitive person, not only about her own emotions, but the emotional space of people around her. But she doesn't just, she's learned not to react based solely on her emotions, or to display her emotions in a way that a page or a knight would, because they're not quite so mature. So this is your energy. And again, I'm feeling kind of a bit of stubbornness underneath it. It's kind of like there's a situation you've been dealing with for some time, Cancer. Could be work, might be a relationship. And it's turned into, if this is a job, whether it's a job or a romantic relationship or something, you've been in it for quite some time. So it's a committed relationship or a committed situation. I feel like you've been at this place before where, you're taking a look at a situation and you're going, look, I've been here before. This is what I always did before. It looks like it's happening again. And Spirit is presenting the opportunity for it to come to a close. It's kind of like whatever this situation is, you've faced it before in this situation, in this job, in this relationship, and you may have reacted a certain way, which kept the cycle kind of going. And it looks like Spirit is bringing forth an opportunity, maybe a second opportunity, or a 10th opportunity, depending on how many times you've been around this particular, merry-go-round, an opportunity to bring it to a close once and for all. And you're taking stock of it, and it feels like whatever this situation is, it's a repeat of what you've been through before, but it feels like you're actually dealing with it differently. You're staying very emotionally grounded and rooted, even though there might be all kinds of emotions or pain or anxiety churning around, and you're actually taking a look at it and going, you know what, I've been putting X amount of energy, time, love, money, whatever into this situation. What have I gotten in return for it? And regardless of what the results of that inventory are, you're kind of staying grounded and staying in your center. It feels like you may be reacting to this situation differently than you have before, which is perhaps why Spirit is saying, here's an opportunity to bring this to a close once and for all. Let's see what this energy is about. Actually, I'm going to clarify with this deck. Tell me about the Ten of Wands. What is the Ten of Wands about? The Emperor in reverse. The Emperor in the upright is a very, I mean, he's an emperor. He's rules all the kingdoms, all the kings and queens. You know, this is somebody who's hierarchical, probably older, established, very structured, very disciplined, because he lives in a world where everything has to be linear. All the buses, planes, trains have to run on time. Everything has to flow. So he has his hands on everything. He has a big job, a lot of responsibilities, and he's very structured and responsible and disciplined about that. You know, he's a by-the-book kind of guy. He can sometimes be stubborn and kind of controlling and domineering, but that's because he has to control a lot of things. Sometimes that bleeds over in his personality. In the reverse, this is somebody who is perhaps being irresponsible or abdicating his responsibilities, meaning, you know, the emperor saying, I don't want to be emperor anymore. I don't want to deal with all these responsibilities. I don't want to deal with this anymore. So I'm stepping down. I'm leaving. Let's clarify that a little bit more. Because this is the source or the root of this Ten of Wands. This overwhelming burden, something you've been dealing with, carrying for quite some time. Maybe it's an older person that should be taking responsibility, should be doing their share, but they're not, and you've had to shoulder a lot of that, or you've carried the relationship or carried the job, you know, doing your job and the emperor's job. You know, maybe that's what needs to come to an end. Why is this emperor in reverse? Because this feels like a specific person in your life. I mean, it could be a husband, boyfriend, could be a father, or a boss. The Eight of Cups, leaving, walking away, turning his back on something that perhaps he's found disillusioning or disappointing or doesn't want anymore. So, and again, because I feel like you've been here before, maybe a few times before, it looks like there is a relationship. Now, because it's a general reading, the nature of that relationship may vary. It might be a father for some of you. It might be a husband or the equivalent of a husband for some of you, or wife. It could also be a boss. Somebody older in a position of seniority, status, responsibility, somebody who has their proverbial caca together. He's abdicating, he's leaving. And I feel like you've gone through this before. This, for some of you, may be somebody who's been in and out of your life, like you're in a committed relationship, but he's in and out. There's a non-committal sense to him. Tell me more about this Eight of Cups. What is being left? What is the Emperor abdicating or leaving behind? Oh, the Empress. The Emperor in reverse. He's abdicating. He's not being an emperor. He's leaving. He's leaving something behind. He's leaving the Empress behind. And this is something that he's done before. So this is a relationship reading. It's just that because it's a general reading, the nature of what that relationship is going to vary. It might be, for some of you, it might be and you've been here before. This is not the first time this Emperor, I think, has left, because all of these three cards, the Emperor in reverse, the Eight of Cups, and the Empress in the upright, are clarifying the Ten of Wands. It's time to lay this down. So this is a cycle that's been going on. You know, it could be that you're in a relationship with an older person, like a romantic relationship, and even though they are technically in the position of the Emperor, they're not doing what an emperor is supposed to do. They're not taking care of their responsibilities. They're not fulfilling their commitments or obligations to the relationship. They're back and forth. They're constantly leaving. Hello, goodbye, you. Or I mean the Empress. So that's one story. Another story is it could be parents, a set of parents, like your parents or your person's parents, you know, and this could be a divorce. This could be, you know, it looks like one person is saying, I want out of this. It's time for this to, you know, it's Spirit is driving this Ten of Wands. they're really trying to showcase, how long are you going to put up with this? I mean, it could be a boss whom leaves the majority of the work to you, or somebody in a position of status and authority that has his own responsibilities, but you're somehow shouldering all of that. And Spirit is bringing this energy back around again. But you've been doing it. You've been making the decision to stay in that, free will. And Spirit is bringing, I think, either bringing it to happen again or allowing it to happen again, to say, look, it is time for this to come to an end. This has to stop. You either have to leave the relationship, the situation, the partnership, the whatever, or simply allow the leaving to be that, an opportunity for that. Tell me more about the Wheel of Fortune. God, Spirit, Angels, Guides. And this is the same about kind of getting advice, because the Wheel of Fortune is energies of God, Spirit, your angels, and guides. It's divine timing and orchestration. Wheel of Fortune is also bringing the energy of the Ace of Swords. They want you, don't shoot the messenger, Cancer. Cancer is my rising sign. They want you to wake up. That's what the Ace of Swords is. It's the wake-up call. It's the beginning, the opportunity. The Ace of Swords is the Ace of Air, which is mental energy. It governs the mind, belief systems, ideologies, higher education, learning, truth, wisdom, honor, everything that kind of circles around up in here. The Ace of Swords is the number one. It's a new start, a new beginning, or the opportunity for that. So what the Ace of Swords does is it's purely mental, psychological energy. It's not emotional. In fact, the Ace of Swords, this sword, is basically of truth and enlightenment, the epiphany, the aha, light bulb going off over your head. So that's the energy of the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords, the sword, basically kind of the sword of truth, comes in and it cuts away all extraneous fantasy, illusion, delusion, and it shows a situation for being exactly what it is. It could be a new perspective or a new idea. But in that energy, once you see something for what it really is, or see it in a completely different light, in that energetic space, you have the opportunity. The Ace of Swords gives you the opportunity, free will. You can choose to say no. It gives you the opportunity to make choices and decisions that would create a healthier reality for yourself rather than the one that you're seeing. God, Spirit, your angels, and guides want you to wake up, to see this for what it is, this endless, interminable cycle, which, I mean, look, can't even stand up straight. It's become so heavy. So we know what the advice is. It's quite clear here, Cancer, that Spirit really would prefer that you end this. Or if this Emperor is actually physically leaving again, maybe he's coming back, coming back, coming back, coming, going. Let the leaving stay. Let it stand. And I actually feel like this time is a little different. And it may be that you've been in this cycle of this happening, and every time, maybe you're caring a little bit less. Because it looks here like you're not reacting. I mean, and maybe it doesn't hurt any less, but it looks like your reaction to it may be a little different. You may be looking at it a little more realistically and less idealistically. So there's an opportunity here. So Spirit obviously wants you to let go of this burden, because it's not even actually yours. It feels like, most of what you're carrying is what the Emperor should be doing, not you. So if Cancer allows this situation to come to an end, or the ending to stand, what would be the outcome of that? The Sun. An uplifting of energy. The sun shines over everything, it brightens everything, it illuminates, it clarifies, it loosens up restrictive and tight energies, it uplifts, difficult, challenging mood spaces and all of that. Let's see what's behind it. The Three of Cups, socializing, connecting with your kindred spirits, your tribe. Maybe that's part of it too. Maybe in the course of this relationship, romantic, friend, work situation, maybe part of what's happened slowly through all the different cycles of this cycle maybe it has interfered or come in between, or over time you have let go of, connecting with your tribe, your family, your community. I mean, it could be that as well. It could be that you've gotten so absorbed in carrying the weight of whatever this situation or relationship is, that you've slowly pulled yourself away from, really being able to enjoy yourself and connect with people and connect with your particular people, your tribe, your circle, your social life, your community, that's perhaps gradually over time, because I think this has been a long time coming, that this relationship has taken more and more out of you, because you're taking more and more of the responsibility on your shoulders until, here you are, I can't even stand up straight. So Spirit is clearly advocating for you to wake up, sort of get a clue, and see it for what it is. Again, free will. You can continue the cycle. Although I think you're feeling quite differently about it than you did the first few times around. So some thinking, decision making to do. And if this is a relationship a personal relationship you're in with this Emperor, it looks like he's taking off. He's abdicating his responsibilities, his throne, his palace, his whatever. So, which is a shame, because he's leaving his natural mate, the Empress, this beautiful, sensual, feminine. It looks like he's cutting off his nose. He's cutting off his nose to spite his own face and doesn't even realize it. And it's kind of very un-emperor-like, which is why he's showing up in the reverse. Could be Aries as well. So this is one of those periods of time which I think you've dealt with before, Cancer. You need to really take a look at that inventory and take a look at what the results of that are, and make the best decisions for you for a healthier reality moving forward in the future. So Cancer, that is your reading for the first half of September. This was a little bit longer one. I hope you found it helpful and useful. Again, if any of these readings resonate, you would like to reach out for a personal reading, just feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the mid-month readings. Until then, be blessed and take care, Cancer. I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.